Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102. The D.T.L Season 6 is almost here. It's taken a long time, and I think, to be fair to Mark, who runs it, he had a lot of issues at the D.T.L when he was going up a database from the original 3.960. He was looking to go to the 3.965, I believe, or the 3.967, and there was a lot of issues he ran into. But we are almost there, because day before yesterday he released an unofficial save for Season 6, and I'm going to show you that right now. And then I'll explain to you what the deal is. For me, this is the most exciting part of the D.T.L. So, what we'll do first then, let us go straight to my own team. Oh, shit, we don't want to do that. Does anyone ever use passwords? I asked myself. So, Wolverhampton Wanderers. So I'm not going to go so much into the rivals. This is our squad of 45 players. Now, what the plan is I forget how Mark said he does this, but there will be, anytime soon, any time now, shall I say, there's going to be what's called CPU bids, where I don't know if Mark uses a program or whatever, but we will all, as managers, we'll all be given a bid for a player. Not all our players, a selection of players. And we have the right to decline it or accept it. Simple as that. If we accept it, that player goes, and that money gets put into our bank. But I'm not sure if he uses a program to determine which players or how much. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. I'm hoping, I've gone through my team with a fine-tooth comb. Let me remind you, we are now on the 3.968 version. So I've got a few theories that I'm going to be working on. So I've got a player. Now, where is it? I've got a striker who is a complete shower of shit. This guy. And I say shower of shit, in all honesty. I've got to really take into account that this guy, Sevakos, might be an absolute monster of a player in the next update or the update after. I don't know. So I don't really want to sell him as an impulse, thinking he looks like a shower of shit. But there'll be a selection of players, and I'll decide if I think, am I going to use him? I've got a rough idea of what I'm going to use, and so on and so on. And then after that, we will have, I believe, the plan is to have haggles, which will be haggles between fellow managers. So let's pretend I wanted to get rid of Sevakos. CPU didn't make a bid. I then might want to offer him out to other people on a free transfer to get rid of him, or as a part exchange, or as a straight sale. Who knows? So we'll have a week or so of haggles, and then after the haggles is the best part. After the haggles, we will come with the auctions. Now, the auctions are the best part of the game. The auctions, of course, just to recap, Mark sends, I might be a little bit off here, he'll send one auction, there'll be about 10 auctions, but one auction will consist of around, oh my God, I want to say about 20 players, 15 to 25, something like that. Let's say 20 players, and each manager has the right to make 5 bids for players and send it to Mark, and the highest bidder will get that player, but only 5 players, and then any player that doesn't move on an auction will go on to the next auction, added to the next 20 odd players, and so on and so on and so on. At the end of the auctions, I think Mark might do a save, so we can all get a rough idea of our squad. We might have another week of haggles, I believe. I think haggles are always in motion, in all honesty, and then there will be a cut-off date, and we will not have any more haggles, any more auctions, and then we start playing it by the month, sending our teams in. The reason I've gone into that really, really quickly is I know we've got a couple of new people coming in. I know we've got, well, you can tell this is unofficial, can't you? Because Wolves are not First Division, they're Premier League. I know we've got someone taking Newcastle. I think we've got Matt taking over Newcastle. And I want to say there's another place somewhere. There's another place. I think General Smuts left Leicester, something like that. So from these new guys' perspectives, you guys, like let's take Matt for example, because I'm not sure about who the last person is. So Matt will have this team to work with, and whatever budget he's going to inherit from the previous Newcastle manager. He could have opted for a brand spanking new team with no players and a set budget, what we all started with. But I think he's agreed to take over Newcastle, formerly managed by Ebfats, his beloved Newcastle. So I mean, except Matt will have to just work it out as he goes along. You know, as I'm sure a lot of you already know, it's all about using unlocked formations. I think there's about 4 or 5 now, and picking your team and sending it to Mark. And it's all very interactive. It's really good fun. But like I said, this was just really an update on where we're at with D.T.L. Season 6 is now upon us, with us receiving the unofficial save. I can't wait for the auctions, because for me personally, I think I've got about 35 million to spend, and I don't know what to expect on in terms of what sort of players to come on the auction. I really don't know what to expect at all. So fingers crossed, we see something that the other fellow managers don't, and we get a swoop in for a nice cheap offer. This is the thing about the auctions. The brilliant part about the auctions is, I might find 5 players, and it might be the same 5 players at Trunky spots, and he thinks, right, going to make a bid. I'm using Trunky as an example because he's a cunt. You know, it's really a case of, I think I had one auction a year or 2 back where I didn't get any of them, and it was like I failed to win any bids, and it happens. And then there was another one where I think I got 4 of them. But you've also got to take into account, not so much for Matt, because he's got 18 in his squad, I think I saw, but for me, I've got, oh shit, I've got 45 players, I think it was, I said, weren't it, in my squad, and I've obviously got to take that into account. So I understand why Mark is doing haggles now, before the auctions, to free you up some space, because what I'll probably do is, there's no limit to how many players you can buy, but you've got to obviously have the room in your squad. I will definitely be looking at getting rid of some players on CPU bids, but hopefully they're players that I don't want to keep. And, you know, and then players that maybe I want to get rid of that CPU don't bid for, I'll try and offload to fellow managers. But they're not stupid. They're not going to buy my showers and shit, are they? But they might see something in a player that I don't, vice versa. We all play CM differently, don't we? I mean, I think on a save once, I had Fernando Rickson. He was he was amazing as a right back. This is unofficial, let me remind you. So, when the official save comes out, Fernando Rickson may load up better. In fact, I hope he fucking does. Because that's shocking. So, that is it then. The D.T.L is almost here. Till next time from me, guys, take it easy.